the window into the mind of the people within the West happens with the porn industry, Jesse. Yeah. Porn, whatever you want to call it. To understand the minds of people and what makes people tick, you must go to corn. You must go to the underbelly. You must go to the unspoken. You must go to the subconscious level of what is going on. And the subconscious level of the society in which we live in is porn. And that's why when you find in places like Pakistan, the hugest searches for homosexual porn, you think to yourself, hang on a minute.
Say it one more time, please.
Pakistan has got the biggest searches for homosexual porn. Right, folks, I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole because I want to understand why this racism thing exists. Okay, I really want to understand why racism exists. And I think I figured it out, Jesse. I think I figured out why racism exists.
Let me guess, you're going to say jealousy.
To some degree, it is. To some degree, it is. It is, according to Francis Cress-Welsing, who was a psychiatrist, and Neely Fuller, who is also a psychiatrist, they state that racism exists for the purpose of the preservation of your genetics. That is why it exists. And the thing is, what happens is I went down a rabbit hole, as I normally do, because I read a lot, as I normally do. And I want you guys to kind of listen to this. You can rubbish it if you want, okay? But just listen to this. So if we go back in antiquity, there has been, don't be immature about it, guys, there has been an obsession with the black male phallus. There's been an obsession with the black male phallus. If we go back to the 642 AD, when the Muslim Arabs invaded North Africa, what did they do when they found the Africans? They castrated the Africans and they took away, they actually took away their penises and their testicles. A lot of the time, they made them into eunuchs, okay? And then when you get past the Arab Muslim enslavement of black Africans, then you get to the Jim Crow era. Now, there's a book that I read a few years ago called 100 Years of Lynchings. And 100 Years of Lynchings is a book that I like because it isn't written. There is no bias in this book. All it is it's a collection of newspaper articles for 100 years. And all it is that, you know, the Chicago Tribune or the Atlanta Star wrote about a lynching that happened in their area. And it stems from the 1800s to the 1900s. You can all go and read it. Ralph Ginsberg, 100 Years of Lynchings. But what happens when I read that book, and when you read that book, is you slowly realize that there's now an obsession with the black man's phallus. Once they lynched the men, they would take their penises off. And I'm like, why? Like, for what reason do you want to go for his penis? For what reason? I don't understand it. So I said to myself, okay, cool. Maybe those are two instances, both with the Arab Muslim and now with the European, where they want to cut black men's penises off. And maybe they're isolated incidents, but it doesn't stop there, because then you go to the modern day. And I was a child, a teenager, when a man, you guys might remember him, when a man used to run for Great Britain by the name of Lyford Christie. Do you remember Lyford Christie?
Yeah, man. Sure.
And Lyford Christie was a black runner in the UK. All he wanted to do was run for his country. He was a very good runner, and I think he came second in the Olympics at one point, right?
I was too young.
Yeah, he's second in the Olympics. But do you know what they used to do, Jesse? Every 2 seconds, they used to talk about his quote unquote lunchbox. They actually gave his package a phrase. They called it his lunchbox. And I remember growing up, and it was on the front page of newspapers. Oh, Lyford Christie runs for Great Britain, and his lunchbox going to be the good luck charm. And he would go to interviews, and they would be like, "Oh, well, Lyford Christie, oh, let's talk about, you know, your racing for the Olympics. Can we talk about your lunchbox?" And I'd be like, "Why are you obsessed with this guy's penis again? Like, for what reason? What is the obsession?" That I'm telling you, you lot think I'm joking. Go to Google right now and Google Lyford Christie lunchbox. and you will find article after article after article talking about this man's penis. And this was in the public domain when I was growing up. So I was like, another instance of people being obsessed with the black male phallus. And then we fast forward again. I actually believe that the window into the mind of the people within the West happens with the porn industry, Jesse. Yeah. Porn, whatever you want to call it. To understand the minds of people and what makes people tick, you must go to corn. You must go to the underbelly. You must go to the unspoken. You must go to the subconscious level of what is going on. And the subconscious level of the society in which we live in is porn. And that's why when you find in places like Pakistan, the hugest searches for homosexual porn, you think to yourself, hang on a minute.
Say it one more time, please.
Pakistan has got the biggest searches for homosexual porn. Google it right now.
I'm not going to put it on my phone.
Hey, put that on my phone. Yeah, it's got the biggest searches for homosexual porn.
Is that per person?
Per capita.
Yeah, per capita.
Yeah, go to Pakistan, homosexual porn searched all over Pakistan, bro. And it's interesting. So it goes to the minds of the people, right? But in porn, there's a huge section. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry dedicated to what, Jesse? The BBC.
It's not just about the BBC.
There's a huge section dedicated to it. And not just the BBC. All right. Do we have one dedicated to the white man's penis? Do we have one dedicated to the Arab man's penis?
The WBC. And the
WBC? What's that? What's that? Boxing? What's that? Boxing? We don't have one dedicated to the Asian man's thing.
I'm sure there must be, man.
We don't have one dedicated to the Arab man's thing, but we have one dedicated to the black man's thing. And not only that, we have dedication to the black man's one, railing people's girlfriends and wives, right?
Cuckold.
So, cuckold, that's what it's called. So I'm like, hang on a minute. Why are white men, why do white guys want black guys to rail their wife? I don't get it. I'm seriously trying to understand why white men want black men to rail their wife. And it's very interesting because I actually know black men, Jesse, who have had that proposal.
No way, man. That's
Black
not
men
real.
who have had the proposal of, oh, would you do this to my wife? I'll watch, would you do this to my wife? And then it gets to the point where I'm just like, I've been in the corporate world before and growing up, and I've noticed, and let the black men in the comment section help me out or not. And you get to a point and you have a little drink with a white colleague or white colleagues, and for some reason they start mentioning your thing in a joke, in some kind of weird way. And you're like, yo, whoa, why are we talking? Why? You start talking about women and they start saying, oh, well, you know, the women like you because, you know, and I'm just like, why? Has it happened to you before, Jesse?
Never, no.
It happened to me. And I'm just like, why is my thing on your mind? And so, yeah, I think racism exists in a roundabout way because there's a jealousy, like you said, jealousy of the phallus.
I thought you were going to say jealousy.
No, I think there's a jealousy of the phallus. Call me crazy, but that's what I think.
No, listen, I'm going to disagree with you because your subscribers love you and hate me.
I mean, they don't hate
So for my own
bro.
preservation, I have to agree with you.
Nah, man. Like, listen, I know that I've had black men
Whoa. Where are we going with this?
say to me,
Okay.
not me.
Whoa.
No Diddy.
No.
No Diddy. No Diddy. Yeah, like that said to me that, yeah, they've been offered to do this kind of stuff.
It says.
Dems would say Western women are on blacked.com nonsense. It's true. Blacked.com is another porn site, again. Corn site where black men are just to rail white women, and I don't know, bro. There's just this crazy weird obsession, bro. What? You know, I just remembered. It happened this year. Adam 22 wanted that black guy to rail his wife.
Yeah.
What is this, bro? It's weird. It's weird, bro. I don't know what it is. White guys, you got to make me understand what you think it is. Why you want to see black guys rail your wife and rail your women. It's really weird. And the thing is, right, like I said about this whole racism thing, and when we go to Frances Cress Welsing and Neely Fuller, do you know why? It's the preservation of the race, because the black man doesn't need this. That's not his gun. The black man's gun is between his thighs.
That just sounds weird.
And because he can shoot, and if he shoots, he gets to erase the whole of the white nation. Because if he breeds all of their women, he's done. The white nation's done. And so when you go to the South and you go to these laws that they made that black men aren't allowed to marry white women. And then even if you read 100 Years of Lynchings and you read the stories of the lynchings, bro, about 70% of the lynchings were because of a white woman. I swear, you guys need to read this book, because about 70% were because a white woman said that a black man touched her the wrong way, a black man looked at her the wrong way, a black man didn't give her the stuff that she wanted. It was always a white woman saying something about a black man. And I'm like, yo, seems like historically, white women have been a bit of a crazy thing for black men.
Yeah. Remember we spoke about John Majors and his white woman.
Jonathan Majors and his white woman.
Yeah.
Brother, like I don't know what it is, guys. There is something between the black man and the white woman that people don't want to see, because, like I said, the gun, all peoples of color have, they say, this is not an argument for supremacy, by the way, so I don't want people think, oh, he's being a supremacist. It's not an argument for supremacy, it's just an argument of fact. All people of color have the genetic capability to erase white people off the planet.
But we don't want to do that.
No, I'm not advocating for it, but I'm just saying, how do you stop that from happening? You have to build a system which keeps the strongest genetics on the outside. It just makes sense.